In this section, we're going to focus on the introduction of local variables and seeing how they appear on the stack. So previously we had main and it just returned a hard-coded constant. Now we're going to have a hard-coded constant, scalable, placed into the local variable I, which is an assigned integer. So this code with this compilation gives us this assembly. And it looks like we have 3 new assembly instructions to learn about. So the first one is SW, store word from register to memory. So this is very similar to the store double word that we saw before. Same sort of form. You've got storing of RS1, the source, plus some signed 12-bit value, sign extended, of course. And then that is going to be used as a memory address where you're going to store the RS2 value. So RS2 is being stored into word memory. So word is 32 bits. Word memory. So if you're running 64-bit code and RS2 is a 64-bit register, that'll be truncated down to just the bottom 32 bits, which is what will be stored in memory at RS1 address plus immediate 12. And that's what's going to go in memory. Again, unlike most instructions, stores are read from left to right. So this register over here is being moved to the right. So the arrow goes that direction, left to right. And again, parentheses in the disassembler, these parentheses around RS1, that is your hint that something is going to be used as memory. And those are only with loads and stores. So here, store, we're storing out to memory. Then load word, same sort of thing, opposite direction. Instead, now we read it like most things from right to left. So you take RS1 as an address, add the sign extended 12-bit immediate, and you load that value from memory into the register RD. And again, like most instructions, this one is read with the arrow facing from right to left. And also the parentheses in the disassembler is your hint that there is memory dereferencing occurring. And then we have Louis. Louis, Louis. Oh no, Sid, we gotta go. Yeah. That's right. I reserve the right to break into song at any point in this class for any reason, should I see the need. So what is Louis? Louis is load upper immediate, and what do we do with it? We use it to create 32-bit immediates. We saw that LI before load immediate can only load the bottom 12 bits of a register. Well, this is how we're going to load the upper 20 bits. So I mentioned this sort of syntax earlier in the class, but this is the first time we're actually seeing it. The use of this uppercase U is going to be what I will use to indicate that we are loading upper bits of some register. So upper immediate 20 bits. And so I chose to draw this sort of like this. So it is loading the upper immediate 20 bits into RD, some destination register, and specifically those 20 bits are filling in bits 31 through 12. So those are the upper 20 bits. So it sets the upper 20 bits, and then implicitly it also sets the lower 12 bits to 0. So that means if you're trying to create a 32-bit constant, you need to do a Louis and then an add I to set the bottom 12 bits, not an add I and then a Louis, because the Louis would wipe out the bottom 12 bits and set them to 0. So Louis and add I is how you set a 32-bit value into a register, whether it's a 64 or 32-bit register. And spoiler alert, shifts are how you can create the full 64 bits, but we'll learn about shifts later in the class. Okay, so now it is time for you to go off and draw your own stack diagram. So I'm going to want you to go and put single local variable O0 into GDB, and I want you to debug through it, like single step through it, and keep track of what's going on the stack and fill in values as you see them. I'm giving you this as an initial starting state. You should see this. If you don't see this, then something probably went wrong. So your initial starting point is your frame pointer should be pointing at 7 Fs and then A88. Your initial stack pointer should be 7 Fs and then 900. There's going to be a value there at the stack pointer, but we don't actually care about that. We care about, that's already set before main executes a single assembly instruction. We're going to care about the stuff that it starts out at lower addresses below where the stack pointer starts, because the stack pointer is going to necessarily be manipulated by main. The frame pointer is going to be manipulated by main. So I want you to draw a diagram that keeps track of what gets written where on the stack and what is left uninitialized and that's not actually touched, And basically, after you see all of the writes to the stack occur, you should have a pretty good idea of what this looks like. So go ahead and stop now, step through the assembly in GDB, and draw your stack diagram, and we'll come back and see what it should look like. Now, I don't care how you draw your stack diagram. You could draw it on paper if you'd like. You could make a text file and do it in ASCII, or I gave a template form on the website where you can fill it in to just have a nicer looking version. But one way or another, you're going to be drawing a lot of stack diagrams in this class, so time to get started on it.